YouTube is considering planning to set into motion adding paid subscriptions for YouTube. Now, I want to talk about this because it's a very hot topic, and I think I really want to chime in because what I'm going to say is actually kind of like, well, you're stupid, why would I pay for YouTube? But at the same time, I'm going to make you change your mind a little bit. Because I heard it from somebody else, and their idea really inspired me to make my own opinion out of this, but it's the same one, basically. So, this guy was talking about in his commentary about the paid subscriptions, and he was starting to talk about, wouldn't it make sense to make people pay to upload to YouTube? Now, here's why I say this, is because, one, YouTube isn't free. I mean, I know a lot of people understand this, but there's a lot of people who don't. To buy a server to host videos on costs a lot of money. They make that back through ad revenue, but they're losing money at the same time. You know, because if I'm not mistaken, the statistic stands at for every 1 minute in real life that goes by, an hour is uploaded to YouTube. Now, that's a lot. So it's basically you need 60 people to watch every minute of YouTube. Now, take that to a server. I mean, that's lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes of freaking videos being uploaded every single day. Probably every single day is about one person's whole entire life being uploaded on the internet. Like, that is a crazy number. So, why don't we take that number and reduce it? Well, how do you reduce it? You make YouTube paid. You have to pay for it. Now, here would be my suggestion. We allow every person to get 3 free uploads, because YouTube is widely used for just recreational purposes of like, hey, here's a video of my kid doing something funny and I really wanted to send it to my sister who's all the way out in Berlin. And we can't really deprive these people of that because it's a great website for that. So that's why I say we give people a 3 video upload limit to start off. You know, 15 minutes to 20 minutes, 10 minutes to 15 minutes time cap with blah blah file size, but we need to keep that sharing personality behind it because a lot of people use it for that very reason. Next up is, I mean, we should make people pay $5 every 6 months or maybe $20 a year to basically get unlimited uploading permission, and that way YouTube can make its money back. Now, why do I say all this stuff? Is because, once again, if we can reduce that number of every minute that goes by a year is uploaded, I mean, if we can reduce that to if every minute that goes by 15 minutes was uploaded to YouTube or 30 minutes was uploaded to YouTube, I mean, it would really just kind of take away that whole problem we're having of, you know, oh, should YouTube do this? Should YouTube do that? Well, if you have the paid subscription feature, YouTube's reducing its cost. People are still uploading. It costs them a little bit of money. I mean, $5 but doesn't hurt anybody's wallet except for, you know, really, really broke people. And for those people, I don't want to be rude, but I'm most likely guessing that they don't have the technology to upload videos in the first place. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying. But, I mean, it would just make sense to say, hey, to help us reduce on the cost, because how many times do people just upload their 5-hour-long gameplays with no commentary over it or anything of interest? And who watches that? That's killing YouTube space for people who, you know, do important uploads. Now, one thing that's been weird is Straight Up Knives and Only Use Me Blade have been tweeting about the paid subscription thing, and they're talking about, like, supposedly there was like YouTube was gonna make it so that some people you had to pay to watch their content. I don't know about that. That now sounds really weird and sketchy and not really helpful. Whereas if it's, you know, pay to upload, it makes more sense. And then, you know, like, say you do pay, you're ad free for however many months you paid for. It would make sense, and it helps people. It really gives YouTube the space provision it needs to allow uploads to keep coming in, but people have to pay for it. And then on top of that, they can keep running ads on people's videos who don't want to pay, because if you don't want to pay, that's a whole different story. But if you want to watch somebody's content, you shouldn't have to pay to watch somebody. That would just make no sense at all. I'm not going to pay to watch my TV except for pay the company for the permission to see TV. Like, you know, YouTube's allowed to give me ads, and that means I can watch videos on their website. That's really what it feels like to me. For television, it's like I'm paying the TV company to see TV. I'm not paying the network to let me watch their channel, unless you're talking about HBO, which is, you know, you get my point. But I don't think it makes sense for YouTube to take that kind of stance. So we should really limit uploads. That's my whole opinion on the situation. Now, lastly, guys, before I really say anything else, is mainly I'm uploading a video very important to me. It's a great thing that I've wanted to do for a long time. It might be up today, it might be up tomorrow. I don't know exactly, but it's a very cool video and I want people to check it out. I'm begging you, go check this video out. It's a great video, and then on top of that, we're going to have a lot of user submissions for the video, so we'll have a great time with the series. And on top of that, it does something that I know how to do, and I'm not going to spoil it, but I really do encourage you guys. It'll be up at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, if it goes up today or if it goes up tomorrow. 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys for listening, and I do hope you understand the whole YouTube subscription thing, because a lot of people find it controversial.